wherever you are on the globe, start your morning right. Monday to Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. UK time. Join Robert Ashite and Hercules, your man of sound. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show.
All right, but as we're in the studios today, we can see that we have a dynamic duo in the essence of J'ai Amour, in the early stages of J'ai Amour, Amour, love. We have the one and only Dolores and Olu.
Hello, hi.
Good morning, Dolores and Olu. All right. Good to have you with us, guys. And it's so nice. I mean, it's so great. Like today's Monday. The whole lockdown thing's been eased up a bit, That's
right.
And we're populating the studio a bit with some human beings. All right. I don't know if you can switch the camera so we can see them both. Yeah. But today we're all going to be looking about how lit was your lockdown, because this is something that has affected a lot of people, and it's affected a lot of young people. So young people, when I say young people, I mean youth in general. All right, those who are building lives for themselves. Because everyone's been affected, but it's like the youth don't really have that much of a voice. We're mainly focused about vaccinating the seniors and organizations that are going broken, right, or that are struggling. But then there are other voices that haven't been heard, right? The lockdown, the whole situation, the pandemic has been an unprecedented event, which many of us have seen nothing to compare to it during our whole lifetime. And it's been happening. All right. March last year, everything was going on as normal. But then guess what? We're going to have a lockdown, and everything changed for everyone. Right? I mean, Hugo's just shaking his head like... Sorry, Hercules just shaking his head like, we felt it. We all felt it, right? And many people kind of went to sleep. They kind of went to sleep, battling, overcoming different situations because some people couldn't work, etc. And it's been tough. However, among those people, there are people who've been still making things happen, making their goals happen. All right? So I just want to welcome you both. So, Olu, all right, let's start from you. Tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and what were you doing before the lockdown?
Okay, so my name is Olu for full. I am a Nigerian young man from the borough of Hackney.
Hey, my goodness.
Hackney born and raised.
Hey.
97 born.
Oh.
What was I doing before lockdown? I was working with the NHS as a social therapist, and I was studying social work at UEL.
Okay, all right, fantastic. And what about you, sis?
So
I feel like saying my daughter. I just feel like calling her my daughter because I just found out now she's from Ghana. You look at, so Ghanaians kind of know each other. Like they look at it. It's like, it's I don't know what it is. I can't describe it, but I think it's like with everybody from different cultures. Yeah. So tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name is Deloris, and before the lockdown, I was working with a company called Imagine Dependence as a social inclusion worker. Oh, wow. So that basically works with other GPs like the NHS and hospitals, and helps people that once they've been diagnosed with like depression or anxiety or any type of mental illness, they come to my company to kind of like recover, to kind of like get back into the community, to get active, because sometimes they're just at home and they kind of lose that social life, and some of them just need that one-to-one support, like mentoring and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing, and I was also studying psychology.
Hey, you've gone deep, sister. Now, let me ask you. So you both of you from the VYG,
right?
All right. We are big fans of community groups here on The Breakfast Show. Those of you who saw V-Day, these two people have very powerful stories of how God actually transformed their life. And you've come into the VYG, you learned different lessons. Now, before the lockdown hit, what were you guys planning?
We were planning to get married.
Yeah, we're still planning.
July.
Yeah.
And was planning as a normal young couple would plan. When I booked Regency Banquet Suite, Bruce Grove, paid the deposit. The whole Nigerian Ghanaian, it was a bit of a
Yes. How did that happen? How did that go down?
Well, it wasn't easy because we're from two different cultures and backgrounds, and so there was that clash with families, especially my family. They were very like strict and not really happy.
Oh, you are the girl now.
Yeah, and because I'm the only girl as well, and I'm the youngest in my house, so I think that was a big problem as well, because they thought like, why are you getting married kind of so young? Wait, later, and all of those things. So I think that's where the clash kind of was. So it was a bit difficult, but what we decided was that we wouldn't let that interrupt our planning. So we still continued, because at the end of the day, we wasn't going to marry our families. Like I've heard a lot of people say like, when you get married, you marry the family as well, which we have heard, and I understand the statement, but at the same time, your family, when you get married, your family become your relatives, and at the end of the day, everyone's life is individual and everyone has a choice to make. So, that was like my thoughts.
But it depends, you could have a crazy family.
Yeah.
And there's some families that you marry into and it just wasn't worth it. That's the thing, because there are already dynamics to work out in a relationship. And you can have some families that are so hardcore, that have so much influence, that it's like, man, why did I go down this road? Me and you should have talked more. You know what I mean? Like, we could have, literally, you know what I mean? So obviously, but we gauge each situation, as and when it is. And it's interesting that you should say that, because we've got a few statistics here, all right? And what we looks like is that younger people are not getting married as often, okay? And the statistics are as follows. So it says here that, where are we now? Okay, so it says here, this is quite interesting. This is from... this is just general statistics, all right? From, I believe it's ONS. It says like this. In 1960, 72% of people ages 18 to 29 were married. That's 72%. So it was more common in the 1960s. In 2010, this number had decreased by 21%. That's 2010. So that's like a decade ago. Now, in 2018, only 44% of people got married young. Only 44%. Divorce rates are higher in couples that get married young. Okay. Don't be afraid. You're okay. All right. And couples who marry young. Okay. Etc. All right. And one of the reasons they say is that it's because nowadays people are just okay to just cohabit. It's just become like a general thing. Yeah. Now, tell me, what made you guys as a young couple say, you know what? I want to get married.
It's funny because unfortunately my parents are not together. I didn't actually see any good in marriage growing up. I didn't see good examples of that. But coming back to the youth group in 2018, I believe there was two married couples. You might know one, Mr. Veri, Mr. Stefan.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I saw them and they were happy, young, probably early 30s. I don't maybe should have said their age, but like I saw good examples and I saw that it was possible. And I never had the vision of marriage at all. I used to compare marriage to like Smarties and Kit Kat. One week I like Kit Kat and I don't want to eat it no more. The next is just Smarties. So I was like, how am I gonna stay married? The
analogy, wow.
That's how I used to compare it to one person forever.
You're quite the poet, ain't you?
Yeah.
Behold, yeah. Interesting.
So that's how I saw it, but like God, through the VYG, started to work in my mind and I started to see that it made sense. So I started to develop with God, build and stuff, and God decided to show me that Deloris. I met her in a community group, in the youth group on Word Up TV. Got to know her more. I saw her character, who she was.
So that's very interesting, Hercules. Don't you think so?
Yep.
That word character, yeah. You don't see many young people saying the word character.
They just think, okay, I see the person and I just want to get married to them. But it's like they don't get to know who the person is and what their qualities and who they are by themselves.
And that is quite shocking. So already when you say that word, I saw her character, especially for a guy, especially when guys generally, because we know in the barbershop men speak, right? They don't mention the lady's character first, right? So
that's last the list.
That's last on it. That don't even come up in conversation most cases. You know what I mean? Or like she just wicked. She has a wicked side to her, but I like her. Do you get what I mean? Like, she's facey, but I like her. Like, you know. So character. So that's something. So you are someone that obviously you're, like what you said, the way you saw things at that point in your life through the mentoring and the development in the VYG transformed you as a person, right? And now you were looking at in a different way for a potential partner.
Correct.
Because you saw that it was a valid thing. Yeah. And what about you, Super Lady?
So what made me think to get married was that I had already been coming to the youth group for some time and my life was changing. I, started to become someone who valued herself more, who, I had confidence about myself, about my future. I had, my goals. My future was bright. Like I was focused. I was content, basically.
So pause for a moment. All right, the nuggets are just coming out of these guys' ears. Like, okay, so look, so right now, what you said was this: you was comfortable with yourself. You was happy with yourself. Now, how many ladies are there that are looking desperately for someone or looking to cause something to happen in a relationship, but they're not yet happy with themselves? They actually feel like the relationship will make them happy.
Power.
That's scary, right? That's really, really scary.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how you identified with that first.
Yeah.
It's like everything has its process,
Yeah.
So you was okay with yourself and that affected the way you was looking at things. And because you was okay with yourself, it affected you on a career basis, right?
Yes.
But there are people who have a career, but they're still not happy with themselves.
Yes.
This world that we are living in is not easy, man.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Everything has to start from us.
It's true.
It's but
true.
sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
It's true, because that's the main thing. That's like the main ingredient. Because if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of someone else? How can you give for someone else or give love if you don't even have love? And that's something.
I forgot. We need to do this thing as well.
Yeah, the salt.
And that was very important. So. Yeah, I got to a point where I said, okay, yeah, I can be in a relationship. It's possible because of how I am. And that's when I, was starting to realize, okay, let me start investing in my love life just to learn.
I'm finished here today. Because the nuggets are just pouring. So, and no one ever said. Everyone says investing in stocks. Everyone says investing in Bitcoin. Everyone says investing in property. But then there's investing in your love life. So that's before I found someone. I'm investing in my love life. Most people say, I just want to fall in love with somebody.
Yeah.
Right. But you're saying I'm going to make an investment in that area first. So I'm already good, but I'm going to invest. This is a whole nother dimension. It's a whole nother place that I need to invest in to get it right.
Yes.
Let's go to a break. We have to go to a break. No, we have to go to a break because the information is just, we need to let it settle in. All right. So, let's just go to a break. We're going to play a beautiful song, but I hope everybody's getting this. Breakfast Show favors. What are they saying?
For inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is your breakfast show, and I'm your host, Robert Ashite. And now we've just gone after 7:30. Okay, it's and literally we've got everybody around the world tuning and listening to the breakfast show today. And you know what's really good is we're talking about the subject of love. J'ai amour. So you have to kind of do a little pause for that one when it comes to that. Yeah. And what's interesting about J'ai amour is that there are fewer people nowadays who tie the knot. Okay, and one of the things that the statistics are saying that fewer young people are tying the knot. Now, I'll tell you already, those of you who know, I got married when I was 21. All right, and we're still married today. Okay, and I don't want to give away my age. Actually, I don't care if I give away my age, but this year's gonna make 20 years that we've been married. All right, 20 years. All right. Is marriage easy? No. Existing with human beings is difficult. Yeah, if you don't live with them. Now imagine when you've got someone next to you. But the good thing is when you've got the center point right, like we've been learning from the story of my daughter And sorry, Olu. I'm just saying like,
No problem.
yeah, yeah, and also because I keep thinking to call you Jazreen for some reason. I don't know. I'm changing my life bit by bit. I'm changing just bit by bit. Forgive me. But what we're learning from them today is that it all starts with sorting ourselves out first. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you sort yourself out first, if you find that you're a needy person, you need to sort yourself out. Because you're looking more to fulfill your need than to actually add to someone. And and the thing is, human beings are always going to disappoint you, right? If you're a person that you're needy and you go to someone to fulfill your need, they will fulfill your need to an extent, but after they will get tired. You will literally be like a those things that leech that just literally sucks the juice out of. You know what I mean? And so it's impossible to go the distance. You know, what you're looking for is something that two people can bounce off and grow together, right? Two will add together, right? And that's what you was actually looking to invest in. You was talking about working yourself and investing in your love life. Now, what we'd like to know is what things did you learn in terms of investing in your love life?
So I learned that.
So not the stock exchange, not investing in Bitcoin, not investing in property, but investing in your love life.
Get your notepads and pens, people.
Hey, come on, drop those nuggets now.
Yes. So one thing that I remember that was quite helpful for me was that to learn not to always want to be understood, but to also try and understand others as well. Because I think that's a big thing. Everyone's very different, and it's important that you learn to understand people and where they're coming from. And I started to apply this at home as well with my family. So maybe my mum would do something, I would try to understand why she did it or ask her certain questions. Because I think for me, like, investing in your love life or learning about love it can be applied with anyone, really. And most importantly, yourself as well. So I learned, to understand myself better. And yeah, there was another thing as well, that let's say, somebody makes a mistake, kind of just writing it in the sand. So for example, in the sand, the wind just blows everything away, but not writing it like in the rock, like this person did this.
I won't let go.
Yeah, won't let go.
1972, you died 5 years ago, but I'm not gonna let it go.
Yeah, so just letting it go and moving on. Life goes on.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. And so those are things that you learned that allowed you to invest in, kind of prepared you, right?
Yeah.
And gave you more confidence, isn't it? Yeah. Because sometimes, you feel like some people see marriage as a huge undertaking. And someone who got married at a young age, when you feel that you've done a lot of groundwork to prepare yourself, you have confidence. You have confidence in the future. You have confidence that, you know what, I can make things work, and I just need to find someone who's similar to me that we can make things work together.
Yes.
Does that sound like the essence of it? Yeah. And what things stood out for you that you started to invest in your love life?
Correct.
What things did you catch that helped you?
So I started attending love therapy.
So love therapy. What's love therapy?
Therapy of love.
Therapy amor.
You have two.
Okay, therapy of love.
Yes.
I know therapy of love. In my day, it was called therapy of love.
Okay.
Yeah, in my day. Oh my gosh, it's like a university, isn't it? It's like you just churn out these people, the things. Look, man, if you got UCKG near you, you literally just need to take advantage of what's going on, because it just passes through time and everyone's just reaping the results of it. So therapy of love, yes, that's what I'm familiar with. Yeah.
So we're blessed to have two experienced married people that are open about their experiences in marriage, and through the Holy Spirit, they're showing you something that I don't have to make the same mistake. So when I came back 2018 around summer, I started attending the love therapy. I had bad experiences in my love life before coming back. So I was actually going out with someone that's actually a drill rapper today. And so wrong choice.
Sorry.
So I had that negative experience, and I was quite scarred. So I learned to.
So look at their career choice. That's something to consider. Look at their career choice. I'll tell you something about what's going on in their head. I'm just saying, man. Those are some of the things that is like not even going deep. You just sometimes look at the person's career choice. it can tell you a bit about their belief system, right? So a drill rapper, because I know drill rapping isn't so positive, is it?
Not positive.
No.
Not
Okay.
positive. She wasn't a drill rapper at the time.
Yeah.
But this is,
Okay.
God bless her path. Anyway, so I learned to let go of those negative experiences, and not, when I eventually get into a relationship, to not see that person as the person I was with before. So
so two things there. So learn to let go of the negative experiences, because because that's really important. There are many people who have a bad experiences and they're waiting for the new person to mess up.
Exactly.
Because they're looking at them under the lens of their old relationship.
Literally.
A new scenario, new person, new mind, but the individual who's looking at a potential partner can transfer the faults of the previous one onto the new.
Exactly.
And that happens, and that can actually choke relationships, even with more mature people. So to learn that at the age that you've been, that already accelerated you quite a few years, because a lot of people have to learn that after quite a few mistakes. We're getting some nuggets here, people. Continue, my friend.
So I started developing that area. Then as I said, I'm from a Nigerian background, so I was raised in a way that was very tough. So it was strong words in the morning, strong words in the evening. You didn't wash the plates in a certain way, or whatever it may be. So I you really start to study your roots in what kind of things shaped your character, how you speak to people and stuff like that. So we'll talk with words from the book of Proverbs, to speak nicely to people, stuff like this.
So your culture made you rough,
literally,
right? Rough, that's the way we roll, right? That's the normal. But then you go into Proverbs and you learn to speak peaceably with people. Guys, you see how important the Bible is, and maybe you've probably never read Proverbs before in your life, but I'll tell you the truth. In the whole Bible, there's powerful things, but in there you just hit on a really big one, because everyone wants to have that big voice to kind of win the argument, right? But in the Bible, it shows us, what do you want to win for? And usually some people only learn this lesson after they've lost a lot. After they've lost a lot of battles, they're tired and they say, you know what? Whatever it is. But they've been beaten and battered and they've lost so many opportunities. So you already learned that lesson very early. Go ahead, my friend.
So learning those lessons, even in dating, there were times I made mistakes with that, but I had those lessons in my ear, can't speak like that, and to change the way I'm speaking in the situation, and to approach the situation a different way, because she's not a man, she's a woman. So I will taught women are flowers. You have to you have to nurture them in a different
She
type
likes
of way.
that talk. Did you see how she smiled just then? She likes that talk. She started rocking on the chair hey, brother, you're ahead of your time. This love therapy you're going to is benefiting you. Look at that. I just saw him react just then. It's wonderful to behold. Hey, it's wonderful. But many people haven't learned that, and they're in their 50s, 40s and 60s, and they're staying adamant in their way. But you learned that easy in the love therapy. Amazing. Carry on.
What else did I learn in love therapy?
Hey, these two here, they are just Hercules. I mean, do you see what we're seeing here? Sometimes they say, oh, it's your age, your DDD, you need to experience life, you need to da-da-da, right?
Yeah, just to add, because I was thinking, remember when we were speaking about how you don't have to achieve everything in life first before thinking that you're going to start investing in your relationship or getting married.
You mentioned the statistics and how it's dropped off over time. And I think because over time, for me, I feel like people's goals changed. So, for example, this was England. It was traditionally a Christian country at whatever point. And over time, it's kind of changed. So where it was perhaps God first and then family and then money, it's now money, sort out my degree, sort out my career, have this certain amount of money in the bank, and then I will look to someone to be with.
That's true.
So that was taught to me differently in the love therapy. Of course, you cannot be married with no money. You have to pay rent.
Common sense.
Yes. But I didn't have to be Bill Gates, if I could say.
Yeah.
I could build to become Bill Gates. But I could build with somebody, and it just makes more sense that two are better than one. So whereas everyone else, they're trying to go fast on their own, I thought I could go further with somebody.
Absolutely.
So, love therapy. I like to read Nothing to Lose, the books 1, 2, and 3 from Bishop Macedo.
Can you take a note of that, guys? Yep.
I read it like religiously, and he has a lot of nuggets, as you say, and he got married at the age of 27 and so forth. But he would always encourage other people to get married young for the reason of you can build more, you learn more.
Yeah.
Instead of coming at perhaps a later age, and you could have developed that 10 years ago, and
Absolutely.
you're learning now. There's nothing wrong with it if you want to get married later. But I got married at 23. I'm 9 months married now. The things I learned within this 9 months, I don't have to learn in the next 9 months. I've done it and I was got it out of the way.
Absolutely. And you could obviously, Dolores, you could say the same, isn't it? Yeah. Listen to this, and you touched on it earlier. It says here, having more women this is a reason why fewer young people get married. Having more women in the workforce has surely made an impact on the marrying age. In the marrying age, as women focus on school and on getting a stable job, the need or desire to marry has been set back as a goal to achieve after school and work. All right. So I mean, and this is the thing, right? And also, as well as that, and we're not here to say anything negative about anyone's lifestyle, but what's been happening is it's very common to have children outside of marriage, right? It's become the norm. So usually some people think, okay, we'll have children, then we'll get married, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. And people get older, right? But what you're saying is you're putting a spin on that. You're seeing it as, yes, I've sorted myself out. I've got a job. I'm good within myself. As a woman, I'm good. Yes, we have learning to do, but within myself, I'm good. I can see that I can make a future for myself. I've got rid of the needed stuff, all that negative stuff, any toxic stuff is gone. All right? I'm good. Now let me find someone else who is good. Not to make me happy, but we'll add to each other. And you're saying that at a young age, you can build together. Yeah. Two's better than one, right? And that's it. And you've already put yourself well ahead of even people that are in a much more later age, just by being together. The things that you learned in these past 9 months, like you said, you've learned together, right? And dealing with another human being, the maturity that comes from that is on another level. Because there's some things like sometimes women do things that you're just like, as a guy, you just look back and you'd be like,
why did you do that?
You know, because it's a woman being a woman, right? And there's some things like the women will see that guys do, like, is this a child? You know, is this a child? Am I mothering a child here? You know, right? Different things happen. Different personality, different things. But learning as you deal with it together, and when you're both okay, you mature much faster. Guys, we're gonna have to be a to be continued because we haven't even talked. We haven't. It's been good. It's been great. We
just hit the surface. We haven't gone full.
That's it. We haven't dealt with a lockdown. We're just talking about, you know, where the whole love thing is and what they learned coming up to the whole. We haven't even dealt with the lockdown stuff yet. We haven't even dealt with the whole thing with with the resistance and all that kind of stuff yet. Wow,
it's power.
It's very powerful, mi amigo.
No, not powerful. Power.
It is power.
No, so power. Just say power.
Why?
This is Hackney.
Sorry.
It's a Hackney thing.
Huh?
It's a Hackney thing.
It's a Hackney thing. Okay. No problem. Okay, Hackney. Okay. Brixton! Oh, sorry. No, Brixton. Croydon. No. Anyway. All right, guys. So this is your breakfast show. So look, what we're going to do now, we're going to come back and we're going to have a wellness tip for today, because we always give a wellness tip. All right. And what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can get this dynamic duo, Dolores and Olu, back in for next Monday to do part 2 of their story. All right. But we have our breakfast show talkers there, Hercules.
Yes, we have a lot of people that's been talking.
I'm loving the picture you guys have, your wedding picture on, man. Yeah, I'm just seeing it there. Hopefully I'll get to send you this thing for you to watch again, but it's looking beautiful, man.
So we have Joanne saying, never experienced lockdown here in the country where I'm in. Bless.
Wow.
Amanda Benson says, good morning all and bubbly. Have a blessed day.
Hey.
You asked the question. Yes, we never had. We have Anissa, born from Peckerville, G, saying good morning.
Good morning, Anissa.
Amanda Benson saying congratulations to Hercules. Thank you very much. Beautiful couple, God bless you. Janice saying inspiring. God, it's me again, waiting for my turn to be spoken to like a flower. Just got back. Just got back. Not very
Brother,
Tuesday.
Olu, you just came with some lyrics there. I think all the ladies around, and then it's like it was just that movement. As soon as you said that, like all the ladies were like.
Bobby Louise says they are actually experiencing the best life, and best of it is together.
Absolutely.
Bobby Louise says good morning, Mama. As you know, Bobby Louise's mum is Amanda Benson.
Yes, good morning, Mama, Miss Amanda. And it's good to have you with. And those of you who are connected with us now, I hope there's been nuggets that literally been falling all over the place. And one of the subjects that is missed out in general day-to-day life is the subject of love life. No one ever actually is. I mean, there are people gurus who speak about stuff. Don't get me wrong if you go and search for it. But if you go to a community center, they're not going to speak about relationships and love life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I grew up, there was an adventure playground where I grew up as a kid. You know, when I turned 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, they never had a session to speak about love life and relationships. You kind of like just worked out whatever frivolous mad person was doing who was older, doing madness on the bottom of the street. Right? That's how it was for me when I was growing up. My older brother wasn't such a good example and all kinds of stuff like that. So love therapy is something that takes place at the UCKG Help Center.
Yes.
It takes place in Finsbury Park, right?
Yes.
So those of you who are not taking part in the love therapy, make sure you take part. Okay, I'm just saying that before we go for a very quick time out, because I was someone that I was anti-therapy of love. You as well?
Me too.
Why?
Because I didn't care. I didn't know why, but I had no interest really in my love life, and I was young as well. So I thought, let me build. Let me just keep focusing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's how actually I was.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Exactly. And so that was me as well, because I found this new life and I didn't need anything else. I was just totally independent, you know what I mean? And I didn't want nothing to, I didn't need the emotions of a female to disturb me. I'm okay. You know. But however, when that idea did come to me, coming to the therapy of love, it helped to sculpt preparation and stuff like that, and it was very helpful. Guys, we are going to go for a very quick timeout. After that, we're going to come back with a wellness tip from the one and only Olu. Okay, he's going to be sharing that with us today, as he is involved with mental health, and as we're going through a lot of lockdown, there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of stuff happening right now. So this is going to be a really good nugget, and after that, we're going to be done for today. Stay tuned, stay strong, stay locked on. This is your breakfast show. We're right back after this.
Stay connected on your way home. Liberty Radio.
Week, and whatever you're doing right now, whether you're driving in your car, whether you're balancing like 7 children on both of your arms.
Why 7 children?
Because that's an extreme, right? There are people that, you know, it's like the TV broke and they still got 7. I don't know, different things happen in different people's lives. I'm going to an extreme here, okay? And maybe you're working from home or you're in the workplace, you know, and you're tuning to the breakfast show. It's good to have you with us today, and I hope these nuggets have been inspiring, educational, and also giving you hope. Because sometimes when it comes to love, marriage, relationships, there is not a lot of hope that we see in the world, in the news, etc. But just getting these nuggets from this powerful team here, you know, it's actually instilling hope that, yeah, so long as we practice and learn the right things, good things can come out of it. And speaking of practicing the right things, we're in the wellness section part of the show today, and it's going to be given by none other than the one and only Olu. Good morning, Olu.
Hi, hello.
Yes. So tell us, Olu, what is your wellness tip for today?
My wellness tip for today,
yes,
is simply to go for a walk. But a walk, you can ask my wife. I will randomly say, listen, I'm going out, I'm leaving my phone at home, I'm going to be back in an hour.
Now, when you first heard that for the first time, what was you thinking?
Well, I know that he likes going for a walk, but the whole leaving food at home, I was like, what are you doing? That was my thoughts, because like, if anything happens, who do I call? But how would I know who you are? That kind of thing. But he always comes back.
Yeah, he always comes back
anyway. And I just have to pray he's protected and comes back home.
Because when I heard that, it sounded like you're two watching a program or documentary on TV, you know, and he just like, babes, I'm going for a walk. Are you feel like?
Right there.
What's going on? All right, but walking, yes. Benefits of walking.
Okay, I find it like quite therapeutic. I get to, especially if I get to walk in the garden, I get to clear my head. I get to see what's going on inside of me, what's going on in my mind, and I can see it in a way where there's no traffic and cars passing, disturbing my chain of thought, so I can understand why I'm thinking this way, what situation has been going on throughout the week. And then now, because I've had that 1 hour space of time, the problems that I would have seen throughout the week that I didn't understand how to deal with it, now I was like, oh, that's the problem. I now know how to solve it.
Yeah.
But then, because I didn't think about it, I didn't just have my own space to breathe and to think about things, go for that walk. I couldn't really. But now, because I've gone for that walk, I'm got a good level of peace, sanity, tranquility.
Wow.
I'm ready for the week,
dude.
So I don't go 2 weeks without walking. Like 2 weeks is probably a stretch. Probably every week I'll go.
I mean, everybody walks, but you're talking about doing a purposeful walk for a good period of time.
Yeah.
Just forget everything else and just, right?
Yeah.
And even during the time out, we was explaining how it's the simple things, right, that are good for our wellness. Because last week Petrina touched on breathing. We forget to take good, like even the way you're doing, you're all huddled up. So it has to be a thing of,
I did it wrong.
Yeah, because you're like, you can't breathe properly if you're huddled up like that.
So wait, so please teach me.
Like, okay, breathe out first.
Don't lose composure now. Your shoulders look too narrow, you know.
Forgive me. Just breathe. Just breathe. So it's these basic things, breathing, walking. We're so caught up with life, we're missing out on these simple things which are so good for our wellness. Like you was touching on, just that walk clears your head so much that you get ideas and inspirations on how to deal with certain things. But day-to-day life keeps us rushing so much that we're chasing after answers and it's not coming. But we just need a space where we could just sit down, breathe, or just go for a nice walk. And what it does in terms of your health and you know how it keeps the body and endorphins going is absolutely amazing.
As they say, what's it called as well, walking, make sure you get your 10,000 steps as well.
10,000 steps. You had to go put a number to it, didn't you?
No, but that's what they do.
Why you have to go put a number to it?
I'm not putting a number to it. They just put the recommendation.
My life was complete. I was happy to do it my way. Now you have to go put a number to it. Now I'm going to start thinking about that now.
No, you don't need to think about it. It's just naturally, just continue the walk. Just follow Olu's advice. Just walk.
I drive.
So sometimes when you can walk instead of driving.
Whatever, man. Now I've got new things to add to my life. Anyway, guys, this has been your breakfast show, all right? We have had a good morning today, and I just want to thank you, Olu and Deloris, for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure having you with us, all right?
Thank you.
And hearing those powerful nuggets. Also, the big H, now the big H in the house, we have the one and only Brazilian Clark Kent.
Captain Hugo.
Yes, Captain Hugo. Good, thank you so much for being a great sound man today, Captain Hugo. Yeah, but can you just say that, because I love your voice when you respond, like, yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're the guy. This is lovely. And also coming back to us here after a long time under the knife in surgery. I didn't have to say under the knife, did I? It's quite graphic, isn't it?
Now people thinking, what surgery do I have now?
It was. Anyway,
just to make it clear, I had an ACL surgery on my right knee.
I don't know what that stands for, but we'll find out tomorrow. All right, guys. So Hercules, thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem. Right. We're back tomorrow. All
right. And those of you who are Breakfast Show faithfuls, thank you for being with us today, because this program isn't so much about us. It's because of you. And you are the ones that make and add more and more value to this show. And tomorrow we're going to be back. And guess what's going to happen tomorrow, guys? Oh, by the way, we've got a question here. But how does he know how many steps he's done if he leaves his phone at home?
You don't count.
I don't count.
He doesn't count. It's only Hercules that comes with that
Yes.
that stuff and just makes life complicated
You have
when you're trying to do a good thing. I like to keep life simple. All right. Tomorrow we're gonna have the one and only Dean Williams joining us on the Breakfast Show. Literally the entrepreneur king. He was dropping some amazing bars and golden nuggets last week.
So you take my words now.
Absolutely. And tomorrow he's going to be showing us the 7 key tips to create a life of freedom. Okay, and he's going to be going through it tomorrow. I love having him on the show. Then we've got Ronald Petrina on Wednesday. Then we're going to be looking at our mental health expert Nafisha, who's going to be joining us on Thursday, and on Friday will be a replay of the best of the week, which is just everything's just all good. All right, guys, so stay tuned in, stay locked on. Wherever you see on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever, like, subscribe, share, let everyone know the breakfast show is on, and we're back with you tomorrow from the hours of 6:30. Until then, champions, ciao for now.
You've been listening to The Breakfast Show with Robert Ashite.